Hey guys, so welcome to the sketching mini tutors with me, Chouchou, and we are going to see how to draw a nice 3D plane. And by plane, I'm not meaning like literally the engine, but the 3D plane that is going to help you to visualize in 3D. But let's start to draw a very quick doodle of the engine to show you the example of this. Is that whenever you want to draw an object, you need in your mind to have the ability to draw the different plane to see the directions of your object. And most of the time it's good to see it to visualize it as a ground or a table on the surface that your object is going to be on. Okay, if this is what is going to really drastically help you to visualize in 3D for your 3D scene. And basically, if you want to go one step further, you are going to draw in the 3D plane the vertical axis, which is going to be the 3 axis of the X, Y, Z here, which is going to be additional to this plane. All right. And this X, Y, Z, this is actually what is going to really help you to go in all the directions, and this is how actually our human brain is going to be configured, especially as most of the things on Earth are symmetrical. And let's look through the common mistake of when you want to draw a 3D plane. And the mistake number 1 is actually when the perspective is not respected. It looks pretty okay, but from top view actually it would look something like that. And if you want to use as a 3D plane, it should be something like a square or a rectangle. It should be symmetrical and not distorted perspective. And the mistake number 2 right here is going to be also for the center line, as in design sketching we tend to always play with simple geometry and divide everything by 2, by 3, by 2, by 4, and so on. And when we want to get the center line right here, make sure that it's going to be the right way. Okay, try to imagine it, to double check by trying to imagine it from the top view. And is it going to be symmetrical? That's the question you need to ask yourself. And there's a phenomenon and what we call the foreshortening. And what is the foreshortening right here? Let's look through it. Bam, 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 bam. So Kezako, what's this? Alright, so how to solve all this? I'm going to explain to you the foreshortening as well right here. Okay, so how to solve all this with a simple perspective, which is going to be the answer for everything. So we start with the horizon line right here. We add 2 vanishing points, one on the left, one on the right. Okay? And VP means vanishing point, which is going to be the starter point of everything. So you just throw some lines. Here we go. Try to get a product which is going to be basically about in the middle. To make it simple right here, from the top view you have to think that this parallel line is actually vanishing from the left vanishing point and the other side from the right. Okay. And when all these lines, this is going to call the converging lines, going out, they're opening. This is what you need to always remember. So which is correcting the mistake number 1 that we saw earlier, and sees the vanishing point as a starting point. Let's put in some flag to visualize it. Okay, so how to draw the center lines right here, as we said just earlier, playing with geometry. And geometry is what? Drawing with the diagonals. We draw in 2D first, and we are going to replicate them in 3D. Because what the geometry is applicable in 2D, you can do in 3D as well. So we got the diagonals, and you use the vanishing point to cross the center, and then you got 2 center lines, and you have divided this square in perspective in 4 little squares. And what is a foreshortening? Remember, is that you can see here what is behind is shorter, what is in front looks longer. Alright, and with experience you need to always gain this sense of distance. Okay, time for the training time. So do some many doodles, small size ones, so you can get many very fast. And you try to apply all this strategy until you remember, and you don't have to think anymore. You just do it by reflex. All right. Dun, 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 dun. And try to feel that sensation of foreshortening it's really a feeling that you need to get, because this is how you will get a shortcut later on, that you don't need to draw all this setup or perspective, but you have to train first going through this, and later on you will get more freedom. Alright, so try many as needed until you feel comfortable with. Don't draw them too big, draw them small so you can remember and practice faster. Okay, and after that, draw without all this setup. As you can see here in blue, trying to replicate them. Don't try to literally copy what you see, but trying to feel again this type of distance and orientation of the angle. Okay. Alright, so take it as a game, and this is what sketching is going to be fun. It's okay if everything doesn't get right from the start, but you have the theory, just practice, and very soon, not very long after, you will get it. Okay, and this is how you will build your 3D visions, that you need a 3D plane, not the engine, but the planes, for the 3 dimensions. And draw step by step all this, and this is what is going to give the key of the freedom of creation. Alright, so skip the and soon you will be able to skip the construction lines, and whenever you feel awkward, just go back to the fundamentals. Alright, so see you for the next videos. Bye bye. And yep, feel free to download the Designer Starter Kit to make your first steps in design sketching, and which is going to be really useful for you guys to understand all this even better and draw some straight lines, some circles, some squares, and all your first steps in perspective. Alright, so see you. Bye bye.